Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to a brand new video. This is the second video in a new series that I'm starting where I'm going to be reviewing every single lightsaber duel in all the live-action Star Wars movies. In last week's episode, we looked at episode 1, The Phantom Menace. That video, at the moment, is not up on the channel because it was copyrighted upon upload. So that's nice. So if you're watching this video, then that's hopefully a good sign. Today we're going to be watching through the lightsaber duels of episode 2, Attack of the Clones. So let's jump into it. It was a good fight.
You're gonna pay for all the Jedi that you killed today, Dooku.
As you see, my Jedi powers
are far beyond yours. Now, back down. Dooku is such a cool lightsaber, by the way. One of the cooler designs. Master Kenobi, you disappoint me. Yoda holds you in such high esteem. You can do better. I love that little lightsaber sound that they have. I love how Dooku is kind of just toying with them, you know? And this is a great move by Anakin. Swings in, blocks it. Brave of you, boy. And the sparks are great, too. And then... So overall, I definitely enjoyed this fight. While it doesn't come anywhere close to the amazingness of the fights from episode 1 or episode 3, but we'll get to that later, it's still a very solid fight. I like that Obi-Wan fights, you know, that Anakin is impulsive and then he gets knocked out. Then Obi-Wan comes in, then he gets knocked out, and then Anakin comes back and fights Dooku. It's kind of an interesting way to show their friendship. And interestingly, in contrast, we'll get to this in the next episode, in contrast to Revenge of the Sith, when they fight together, and for a good portion of the fight, they are in sync. Obi-Wan and Anakin are fighting together against Dooku, while in this fight, they're never fighting at the same time, and it kind of shows the shift in their relationship across those two movies. I love Christopher Lee in this fight. I think he just does a good job. I know a lot of the sword stuff is also a stunt double, but what he is doing is definitely a good job. I love the line delivery that he does. And I think the best stuff in the fight by far is the Anakin stuff. I'll skip to that now. I love the moment when he swings in, grabs the lightsaber, and then blocks Dooku. But there's two specific moments that I really love from this fight. The first moment, when Obi-Wan throws a lightsaber to Anakin, and he uses his two lightsabers against Dooku, one blue and one green, fighting double against Dooku. It's just such a cool moment, and I think it looks really visually really cool. And the second moment is this one, where Anakin cuts the lights, and the lightsabers, they swing their lightsabers back and forth with close-ups on their faces as the strong red and blue blades just illuminate their faces in the dark. It looks really, really cool. I think it's cut together really well, and I think it's just visually a cool moment. One of the complaints that I hear a lot about this fight is that Anakin kind of just stands there when he gets his hand cut off. But looking back on it, I don't really feel that that's really accurate. I think Dooku, you know, what Dooku basically does is he tricks Anakin, and then right when Anakin is kind of not expecting it, bam! And he goes so quickly that you can see Anakin tries to lift his arm up, but Dooku is just so quick with it. He's a very skilled swordsman in that sense, and we know Dooku's very powerful. Overall, pretty solid fight. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Great reveal.
Master Yoda,
Count Dooku.
you have interfered with our affairs for the last time.
It is obvious that this contest cannot be decided by our knowledge of the Force, but
by our skills
with a lightsaber. And such a great reveal for Yoda's lightsaber, too. And then his green lightsaber illuminating his face because they can do the lighting now with his face. And a very visually nice-looking fight. Great shot.
Fought well you have, my old Padawan.
This is
This is
just
the beginning. And they bring in the Yoda theme, which I liked a lot. Overall, very nice fight. I think it was a great reveal for Yoda. I think visually it looks very nice, and I think not only is the way that Yoda fights really cool, but I think both from Christopher Lee, but a lot of it's actually his stunt double. Both of them do a very good job of when they're fighting, of fighting basically nothing and making it look realistic in the sense that they're fighting something that's not there, because Yoda's CG in this. It visually completely clicks. It never really sticks out like a sore thumb. I think visually Yoda looks really nice, and I think the lighting that they're able to put on his face because he's a 3D model is great. I guess it could have used without the Yoda scream. The other complaint I have is that I feel like he kind of just lets Dooku escape. Like when Dooku tries to crush Anakin and Obi-Wan with this big pillar, Yoda catches it. But once he puts it down, Dooku's ship is still in the hangar bay, but Yoda doesn't even try to stop him. He doesn't even try to catch the ship with the Force or anything. And this is one of the most powerful Jedi ever, so I found that a tad bit questionable that he's able to just let him escape. Like, if Dooku was already gone at that point, then I would go, okay, yeah, kind of makes sense. But, other than that, I still think it's a great fight. I think it has some great moments, and I think it works out pretty well. See, like, Dooku's ship takes so long to escape. Like, Yoda didn't even try to stop him. I'm just saying, but, you know. Another thing about that fight is that it doesn't... Both of these fights, both the last one and this one, they don't really... They're all in one space, which is, you know, contrary to what I've said. I love fights that kind of move through different spaces and kind of evolve, and they go through different doors and different rooms. I think that's a lot more visually interesting. And in this fight, both of them, they just kind of stay in this one room. But it feels like the lightsaber fights in this movie aren't really nearly as focused on as everything else, because you have the Battle of Geonosis and the clones, and you have the big, you know, battle with all the Jedi that we see. So the lightsaber fight isn't like the penultimate moment anymore, not like, you know, the Phantom Menace. So it's understandable in that sense. I'm going to give the Yoda versus Count Dooku fight an 8 out of 10. Thank you so much for tuning in for this video. Be sure to check out the next video in this series coming out hopefully pretty soon, where we're going to be covering all of the fights from Revenge of the Sith. That's going to be a very big video. There's a lot of fights in that movie, so I hope you guys are excited. Stay tuned for that, and may the Force be with you.